Hi, my name is Cynthia Haas, and this is Balance Your Life Yoga. Welcome. Today we're doing a practice, varying levels, level 1 and 2, yoga for flexibility. So what yoga mixed level 1 and 2 means is that I'll be offering different levels of poses to increase strength, stamina, and balance, or decrease those things. And so just finding ourselves in our practice this morning, just remembering that each person is built differently and has different experiences. Coming into a multi-level class, and then also each one of our bodies feels differently on different days. So just taking that into account and doing the practice that's right for you this morning. Let's get started. We're going to start with meditation. So the only prop we'll need is a block this morning. If you don't have a block, you might have a bolster or maybe a sturdy pillow underneath in some of the poses that I'll be offering up. Another substitute would be a thick book. So we'll have meditation, warm up, sun salutations, work poses, deep stretches, and then final relaxation. So come along for the ride. We're going to start with meditation. So just coming to your easy pose, Sukhasana, modifying for your own needs. As I said, some things that you might do is put something under your knees if your legs are tight. It's great to have something under your hips so that your hips are higher than your knees. That just offers some support, makes it easier to open up the front of the body. Closing your eyes if you wish, just beginning to settle down and arrive in the practice this morning. If closing your eyes is uncomfortable, you can either imagine an object or have an actual object in front of you. So just noticing the breath as we begin our practice. We're just doing an inventory of where we are as we come into the class and just noticing and trying to do that without judgment. And of course that comes with practice, practice, and more practice. So even if we fail at not being judgmental, then we don't want to beat ourselves up about that either. So just coming to the breath, and just nice, easy, smooth breath. Noticing the shape of breath in the body. And on your next natural exhale, just release the legs. See if we're holding on in the legs, maybe the abdomen or the lower back. With every exhale, we just release a little bit more. And then just scanning the body up through the trunk. Where is our breath landing in our body? Is it landing here in our abdomen, or is it landing here more in the thoracic area under the ribs? Again, just noticing without changing. Noticing the area around the heart. See if there's any constricted feeling or heaviness, or perhaps lightness and openness. And then relaxing our arms, our wrists, and our hands. Letting the shoulders melt down away from the ears. See if we have any holding in the neck area here between the neck and the shoulders. And then just noticing our face. Are we holding our jaws tight? Are our eyes soft? Is our facial muscles relaxed? And then just moving on to our breath and noticing our breath, starting to change it slightly, maybe smooth it out a little bit. We're trying to make those areas smooth and easy. And just coming to a natural breath, your natural inhale and exhale, and just breathing smoothly as I just reflect upon our intention today, which I mentioned was flexibility. And flexibility is often associated with yoga. People tend to think of the flexibility in yoga as a physical flexibility. Having that flexibility in yoga can also apply to the flexibility of the mind, the flexibility of our ideas and thoughts. For example, perhaps we had a vacation planned or a party planned or something that we were looking forward to that was positive that had to change because of the recent circumstances with the world pandemic. Or perhaps we had something that didn't go a certain way in our house. Maybe a plan that we had made might have gotten stomped on, or maybe we have had more put on us than what we expected. Mid-course correction is taking an inventory of what's going on in the moment. And if I'm in, let's say, a classroom and I have a lesson plan laid out, then I might try to teach and find out that the students weren't as proficient as I thought they were. And so I had this big, beautiful lesson planned, but they needed that skill first. And that sometimes happens in yoga too, in our own practice and in our classes. So the intervention is called mid-course correction. And what that means is after you take that inventory, letting go of what you had planned rather than try to force it. Going back and reviewing that lesson, making sure that everybody understands the concepts that were needed to do the lesson. So we might find that in our own practice, or again, in our own lives, where we thought something was going to go a certain way, but we have to let go of that. And instead of forcing it, just letting it be where it is, and noticing our own ego trying to make it happen. So today, in flexibility, I'd like us to think about a boat out on the ocean. If the boat was to take on the storm head on, not shift its direction, then the boat is probably going to be blown over and maybe even sink. A mid-course correction or flexibility in that situation would be in a boat, we could change the course of direction and avoid the storm or have less impact. Or perhaps another idea is to go with it. And perhaps if it's a boat with sails, we might put up sails and catch the energy of that movement to move us forward, even at a greater pace than what we thought. Maybe it's not the place that we thought we would land, but perhaps it's something better. So maybe as we're coming across these obstacles to what we had planned, we might feel like we're holding on or resisting. Perhaps we could try just letting go, harnessing the energy that's behind what's happening, and land safely in a different space. So just reflecting on the intention of flexibility, kind of doing an inventory for ourselves, perhaps. Or if you came with a different intention to class, just reflecting on that in the next few moments of silence. Couple more breaths here. And then if you wish, just lowering your chin toward your chest and just tuck it back just a little bit. Bringing your hands, palms up to shoulder height. Or perhaps offering up gratitude for the journey that we are on. Gratitude for where we are today. And gratitude for our yoga community and our yoga practice. Bringing the hands over the heart, I invite you to bow in gratitude. And then we're just going to move this block and just move it toward the top of our mat. And just take a few seconds here, maybe about a good full 60 seconds, just to move to a standing position. And just doing an inventory of how your body feels right now and what is it calling for. Just listening to our intuition and our inner physician to lead and guide us in our practice. So maybe just doing some poses. They might be yoga poses and they might not be formal yoga poses. Just moving is how we want our body to feel, doing some stretches and just slowly moving up to the top of the mat in the standing position, however you like to get there. Hands over the heart in Namaste hands. And beginning our practice with Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. So we're slightly bending our knees, feeling how that presses our feet into the mat, and just using that energy and inhaling, lifting up, rising up. Hands can go halfway or all the way up, reaching up, and then slightly bending the knees as we hinge at the hips and lower down with our hands right below our knees. So we're starting here, everyone, for this. Here we are engaging our legs and we're tucking our tailbone in just a little bit, just to give the core some support here, not have all the load go on our back. From here, we can look forward. Inhale. You might want the modification of a block here. I'm just looking forward. Perhaps you'd like to go into full forward fold. Head hangs. And the trunk of the body is just deeply relaxed, coming forward. You might pull in your belly. Now you might want to stay at half forward fold if you have high blood pressure, migraines, dizziness, or eye pressure issues. This keeps the head above the heart or level with the heart. If you don't have any of those issues, you might hang on to your elbows, sway back and forth. Good. Really relax the spine. Try to feel the distance between each one of your vertebrae in the spine. Just making that little gel pack right in between each one. Just fill up with a little more fluid here. Good. Hands on something. It might be on your shins, it might be on the floor, it might be on a block. We want to look forward as we bend our knees, and we're bringing that right foot way back to the back of the mat, and then bringing our knee down. If you have difficulty with your knees, if they're tender with your floor, you can put a blanket or maybe some kind of padding underneath. Now here in the lunge, we're dropping our hips down, and we're making sure we have a nice right angle here. I can see where the arch of my foot is behind my kneecap. So just for safety, I'm just going to move my foot up a little bit farther. Now again, you can use this block for a modification. If it's difficult to breathe for some reason, just placing the block on the inside of my ankle and resting here, giving my hips time to open up since we're just warming up. And breathe. If you'd like a little more sensation, you can come up with the arms out to your side like this, maybe all the way up. And then releasing back down. Now to come out of the pose, want to turn the toe under, lift the knee up, and then have as many hops as I need to bring the feet back together. And we're just going to roll up, hop. Bend our knees slightly as we inhale, lift up if you wish. Exhale, forward fold. Hands on the shins, tuck the tailbone, look forward, engage the legs and breathe. Half forward fold. You can add props if you like for less sensation, or you can just come all the way down for more sensation. Breathe here again. Might feel differently than the first time you did this. Perhaps you might feel it more in your glutes or lower back. Everyone feels this differently, so just again noticing. Trying to notice without judgment. And then inhale, look forward, hands somewhere. Left foot goes way back. Left knee goes down. You can have a block on the inside. Just looking at your leg as you go down, just to make sure that angle stays at a right angle here. Take some deep breaths. And release deeply as well. Using the pose to get deeply into our body. You can add more if you like, maybe having the arms overhead, maybe adding a twist here. Wherever you are, exhale. This time we're going into tabletop. So bring all fours here. Once again, I'm engaging my belly up. You can do this by just looking at your belly button. As you try to look, your belly automatically just pulls in. And then keep the muscles engaged. Keep the muscles engaged, but breathe easily and smoothly. Now we're coming to downward facing dog. Modification, less sensation, would be to extend the right leg behind, push through the heel, either staying here on both hands, or you can come down to both elbows if you'd like the chest and arm and shoulder stretch, you can release the opposite arm, which would be the left, and reach away from the body. Again, just giving some time for the body to warm up and get in, release. Coming back to all fours. Another modification for down dog is to turn the toes under and do a bent knee down dog. Now this serves the body if your hamstrings are really tight. So just opening here and opening with the heels just until you feel some sensation of opening, and then breathing here. Or you can straighten your legs, lower the heels, lift the hips, and come all the way into downward facing dog. Breathing here. Then you might add walking the dog to that, which is bending the right knee, pressing with the left heel. Inhale, lift the heels way high on the toes. Exhale, switch. Left knee bends, right heel goes down. Now just keep doing that back and forth at your own pace. Again, just using your inner healer to guide the intensity of your pose. Good, coming right back into all fours. And you might either do another down dog, or you might do a modified down dog on the other side. This time the left heel goes back. Both elbows might come down and just stay here, or you might reach with the right arm up. Keeps the head almost level with the heart. There's not a whole lot of sensation with one of the bigger inversions. So wherever you are, coming right back down to all fours, we're coming to our first child's pose. Hips can go down toward the heels. If that's not comfortable, you can always put a block underneath. And just rest your seat on the block or two. Or you can put a blanket on the underside of your knees. Another alternate pose would be to drop the elbows down, extend here, and come into down puppy. Opening the chest, letting the forehead rest on the mat or a block. Breathe deeply. Good, wherever you are, coming right back into all fours. Everyone's going to lower their elbows down and then their hips coming into Sphinx pose. I like to turn my toes under and pull each leg a little bit longer. Gives the lower back a little more room back there. Less sensation here would be to widen the arms or just use the arms as a pillow and lay down. This is a slight back bend here. Another way to lessen the sensation is to bring the knee up to the side on one side. And this kind of releases that bow pressure in the lower back. For more sensation, you might try a little abdominal curl here. So pressing the elbows into the floor, pressing the top of the feet into the floor. Inhale, lift the belly, lift the hips, and just do a little curl here with the abdomen. Staying as long as you like. Exhale wherever you are, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, all fours. either child's pose or down dog. Just a counter pose to those back bends. Breathing still. Nice, smooth, easy breaths. And then whenever you're ready, we're coming right back down to all fours. You might lower down to the elbows like we did before, or you might bend the elbows, bring the chest close to the earth, and slide right through. Inhale, Sphinx. Perhaps widen the elbows, use them as a pillow, or bring that other leg up to the side. Or to add more sensations, again, you can do a little curl here, a little abdominal curl. Top of the feet and the elbows press, lift up, making sure we breathe in the pose. Release. Once again, elbows under the shoulders. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, either child's pose or down dog. Rest. Give the back time to realign after the back bend. Just give it time to adjust and just take in the pose that we just did rather than rushing on to the next pose. Coming right back up to tabletop. I want to add a twist here. So one way is just to stay on all fours. Go right back down to the elbows and then lift one arm, coming up and twisting here. Rotating the chest, giving flexibility to the spine, and just changing the breath in the lungs a little bit. Twisting. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift the other arm. Twist in the opposite direction. Breathe. Exhale. You may take a break and into child's pose, or you might add on to the next point of sensation here with the twist. So the next point would be to I'm taking my left foot and bringing it forward. My foot is facing away from my mat. And then I'm going to turn the leg, the toe, the leg that's underneath me, and straighten that out. Bring the weight to, this would be my right hand, the same hand with the leg that's straight, and then open up here. This would be a medium amount of sensation here and strength. If you'd like, you can add even more sensation. And instead of putting the foot out front, stack the feet and come to a side plank. Breathe here. One more breath. Exhale, release to all fours, child's pose or down dog. Warming up our core, warming up our chest and the back of our legs. Reaching your heart toward the earth. Allowing ourselves the grace of flexibility and acceptance. Clearing our mind, coming right back to all fours. Again, you can come down to the elbows, twist here with the knees down. You might have The other knee, go out away from the body. Excuse me while I turn my back to you for just a moment. Turn the toes under, lift the knee, rising up here. And again, if you'd like more sensation, you can keep the feet stacked. Reaching up in plank. One more breath. Release child's pose or down dog, whichever one is going to calm the nervous system. Bring us back to center. Breathe out any judgment of ourselves or anyone else. Completing our warm-up. Inhaling, coming right back to tabletop. Going to shift the weight to the right. Bring that left foot forward. Hands down for the low lunge. Toes turn under. Lift the knee. And then hop as many times as you need to come forward back to a half forward fold or a full forward fold. Find the balance here in the breath and the body. Bend the knees, slowly roll up. Arms overhead if you like. And then exhaling, completing our warm-up for this morning's class. Moving into modified Sun Salutations. Putting a few of those poses together in a sequence, one breath, one movement, just to continue to warm up the body. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, half forward fold, hands on the shins. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hands down, right foot goes way back, right knee goes down. You can stay here, you can inhale coming up. Exhale, twist if you like toward the left. Inhale, exhale, hands down, all fours. Inhale, either plank or that modified down dog that we just did, lifting the knees and reaching the heels back for full plank. Or you can drop one knee. Exhale, knees come down. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower the body down. Inhale, Sphinx or your version. Exhale, release, hands under the shoulders. Inhaling all fours. Exhale, child's pose, 5 breaths. Inhale, 1. Inhale, 2. Inhale, 3. Inhale, 4. Inhale, 5. On the next inhale, rise up to tabletop. Shift the weight to the left as we did before. Bring that right foot forward for a low lunge. Inhaling, sweeping up, exhaling, maybe twisting. Inhale, exhale, toes turn under, lift the knee. Hop as many times as you like to bring the feet parallel to each other. Exhale. Inhale, reverse sweep up. Exhale. Namaste hands. Moving into our other side. Perhaps you might want to repeat the level that we just did of Sun Salutation, or you can add more. If you'd like to do that, just follow me for the second one. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, grounding the hands, looking forward. Exhale, left foot goes back. This time we stay on the ball of the foot, or remember, you can always drop that knee. Inhaling. Exhale, twist if you like. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, moving right into plank or all fours. Inhale. Exhale, dropping the knees, either coming down to the elbows or lowering the chest down. Inhale, Sphinx. Exhale, release. Inhale, right back into plank. Exhale, down dog. Remember, you can always choose to do child's pose here. Exhale, 1 for 5 breaths. And it's okay if your breaths don't match mine. Exhale, 2. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Exhale, 5. Inhale, either coming to the knees or looking forward, shifting the weight, bringing that left foot forward, right into a high lunge. Balls of the foot in the back. Rise if you wish. I invite you to twist if you like. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the knee if it's not already lifted. Push off. Forward fold. Exhale. Inhaling. Reverse sweeping up, opening the heart. Exhale. Namaste hands. Stopping for a short meditation, or perhaps you'd like to have a short break to adjust your clothing or get a sip of water. Meeting each other in standing meditation pose. Reflecting on our intention. Are we neutral? Nice. Moving into our work poses now. So inhaling, rising back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look forward. And then step one of the feet back, probably the one where you are facing the recording here. The feet are parallel, coming into a wide straddle fold. So again, you might have a block here to keep your head above your heart, or if the floor feels like it's really far away, you might do that. Breathing here. Exhale, release. You might bend the knees just a little bit. You can have your hands on the block or on the floor and just release the head, but if you need to keep it up, keep it up. If you'd like less sensation, bend the knees a little more or bring the feet closer together. If you'd like more sensation, then you can add that twist. So taking the left hand to either the right shin, the right ankle, or the right big toe, and then twisting up, just like we did a few moments ago. Of course, you can always keep your hand halfway or across your back for modifications. Breathing here, giving the body time to just feel the pose. And we're thinking about flexibility, so just letting go of that idea of what we thought this would look like and just get into the way it feels right now, as long as we're able to breathe. Release, coming back to center. Breathe and rest in center, either with a block or without. You might grab your elbows and hang if you're able to do that. Good. Inhale, looking forward, holding this pose, and again, just giving the legs time to strengthen here and to open up. You can stay here in the center, or you can walk your right hand to the left shin, the ankle, or the toe. Do not recommend grabbing the knee, wherever you can grab. And then inhale, twist, and breathe in this pose. One more breath. And release. Excellent. Let's just walk back to the top of our mat. And we're going to come to the ball of the foot. You can drop down to the knees and come to all fours. Or you can take a little bit of a rest in downward facing dog. Breathe. You can come to child's pose as well. Opening the body when you feel that space increasing your physical flexibility. Good. Inhale. Either come to the knee, right knee, or the other. Whichever you're facing is fine. Bring that foot forward, either with the knee up or down, and then just walking right back to our straddle forward fold. So here we're bending our knees and we're rolling up. Shoulders are nice, back, heart is open. And we're moving our feet toward triangle. So the toes in the front are parallel with the short part of your mat here. The heel in the back is the farthest point back. Again, you find what's right for you and your body right now. Moving into dancing triangle from here. So the least, a little bit less sensation than full triangle. So what we're doing here is we're bringing our arms wide. The arm that's toward the back leg rotates toward the front, kind of like you're holding someone or maybe playing maracas. And then the other arm goes back. So this is a little twist in triangle, called dancing triangle. Coming back right to center, bringing the wrist over the ankles. You can do dancing triangle again, or you can move to triangle. Release the back hip, reach forward, slightly bend the front knee, and then let the hand rest where it's going to rest. Again, let go of fighting the storm, fighting what your body is telling you. If you feel like you're fighting to come down and you're closing off your heart, then just let go of that and just breathe with that breath, just like the wind in that storm. We might use a block here. And again, open up the chest. Breathe. Make it an easy breath, not forced. If you'd like to go a little further with this, you can do reverse triangle, coming right back up, and we're just switching the twist. The other arm goes in front, the other one in back. I find a trick here to go into reverse triangle is to tighten up my back foot a little bit. Gives me a little bit more leeway in the ankle. Again, I can come down to a block and twist, or perhaps my shin, my ankle, or the earth, number one is, can I still breathe? Remember, you don't always have to try the hardest thing. Release. Hands go down. Bend the knee. Down dog or child's pose. Release any tension, judgment, or feelings of imbalance in the body and the mind. Once again, just being flexible in our thoughts, just to accept the way that went. It's just fine. Just use that energy to build up our confidence in ourselves, our own judgment. Good. Inhaling. I'm just going to bring my same foot forward. Slowly rise up. Inhale. Exhale. First pose being dancing warrior. So bringing this back hand over the body, opening up into a twist here. If you would rather do a medium amount of sensation, rotate the feet, bring the heel behind, wrist over the ankles, lean forward, open the chest, let the hand land anywhere except for the knee. Rise up, you might have your block here. Open up and breathe. Let the wind fill up your sails and float. A little more sensation. We need to come back, tighten up that back heel a little bit. Rotate. Bringing the hand down to a block, maybe the earth. Reverse triangle. Release. Great. Come right back into the front of your mat. Child's pose or down dog. And then everyone come to your version of child's pose, whether it's down puppy, wide legs with the knees apart, or just a regular child's pose. Just release. Find balance, find equanimity. Wonderful. Working on the flexibility of the trunk and the arms and the legs in those poses. We're going to continue that opening, coming to a seated straddle stretch for our deep stretches. Now, if you like, you can take a blanket behind you or maybe a rolled up mat and just roll your hips forward a little bit to come off, and that'll give you a little bit of extra support in the pose. So coming to the wide angle stretch in our deep pose, we're certainly warmed up enough now to ask the body a little more. So instead of maybe going to 70 or 80%, maybe we're going to 85 a little bit and then staying in the pose a little longer. So inhale, rising up. Let's face the left leg. Let the hands down. The right hand lands behind on our fingertips. The left hand lands on the top of the thigh. And we're inhaling, lifting the chest once again And then exhaling, twisting a little bit more. Twisting compresses the organs and just keeps them nice and healthy, filled with new blood. As we release, we're still facing toward the right leg though. We're taking our left hand, letting it float right down the leg. Perhaps you're holding onto your pant leg or your shin, or maybe you can reach your foot or the inside of the foot, wherever you are with this. Opening up that chest one more time. Inhale, just like a sailboat. You can stay here and breathe. If you want a little more sensation, you can reach the hand over so that the bicep is by the ear. Breathe. You can hold the other hand on the toes if you wish. Breathe, just enjoy this deep stretch. Side waist, hips, lower back. Continuing to breathe here, just giving the body some time to just come into the pose. And then roll forward, belly button toward the thigh. And again, you can hold on to the earth, your pant leg. You might use a strap here if you have one handy. And we're opening the hamstrings. Breathing here. And then just rolling towards center. If you have osteoporosis, you might want to give yourself extra support with a pillow or a bolster so that you can't go too far forward. It gives support to the front of the spine. You can walk your hands out on the floor and grab your toes and breathe, coming down. Releasing, relaxing, and just listening to the breath. Good, rolling right back up. Other side, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, turn to the left. Fingertips on the left hand in the back. Right hand goes to the thigh. Inhale, and lift, open the spine. And then exhale, twist. Making sure we can still breathe here. Opening of the heart. Grounding with the fingers. Good. Keeping the body turned toward the left. Let the right hand slide down that leg. Hold on to the pant leg, the earth, your foot, and open up. You might just reach, open up. It's kind of being a human sailboat here. Breathing and just letting the breath flow through the pose. If you'd like a little more, you can bring the arm overhead. Back up so that you can take the full breath. And then roll the belly button toward the thigh. The hands can rest wherever. Breathing into the back of the leg. Sometimes when we stop fighting and working against what is happening, I want to come to the center here. Again, offer support if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia coming forward. What happens when we calm down the brain and stop fighting what's going on? You know, sometimes we might actually see some other options we didn't think about. I know I tend to make things complicated first and then find simplicity after. But when I'm calmed down and thoughtful, meditative, other solutions come to mind. I appreciate the present moment more and what's in it. So once again, just rolling right back up. We're going to grab the inside of the thighs. Bring the bottoms of the feet together. Hold on to the ankles or the underside of the feet. Inhale, lift. Open up the chest and then lean forward slightly. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. And then bringing the knees together, swinging the legs over to one side. I've got my block. One more pose. Several options here. I'm grabbing the back of my thighs to protect the lower back. Laying on the earth. Bringing my heels close to my hips, pressing my shoulders in, and let's just bring our shoulders toward our hips. Now you're going to keep looking forward. Moving into bridge pose. Inhale. Exhale. On the next inhale, press through the heels. Lift the hips up any amount. Perhaps slide that block underneath, right underneath the sacrum, where a low belt would be if you were wearing a pair of low-cut jeans or something. The shoulders move toward the hips, and that's just going to be that foundation of balance there instead of the back of our neck. If we feel any pinging, hot, or painful sensations, we're just coming right out of the pose. We might hit a nerve or something like that. So here in this pose, you can just have your hips up, your hands can rest on your belly, on the earth, or maybe they're clasping underneath the block. I'd offer up another level of sensation here, and that is to extend the right leg, and then just cross the ankle and lay it on top of the left knee. And just let that right knee fall out. Knee comes, just circles around toward the inner left thigh. Deep stretch here using gravity. Passive stretch. One more breath. Inhale, reach through the heel. Exhale, lower that right foot down. Inhale, extend the left. Either keep it extended. Bring the ankle to the knee and just let that knee fall out. A little bit of opening here in the hip joint. Inversions are great for toning and activating our pineal gland, our pituitary gland, or thyroid. And then reaching up one more time and letting the feet come down. Now, at whatever height you like your block, or you don't have to have a block, our last inversions going to be legs up the wall. So I'm just moving my block down one level, but you can keep yours up high if you like, or just not have one at all. But we're just moving our legs, perhaps bringing our knees in, extending the foot toward the ceiling, and doing the same with the opposite. Again, this is an inversion. Great for the heart, the vagus nerve. And our practice today, just practicing flexibility in mind, body, and spirit, adds to resilience. Resilience, that ability to adapt and change and benefit from our environment, our surroundings. Slowing down the breath here. One more breath. Bend both knees. Let the feet come down. Press through the feet. One more lift here with the hips. Then slowly lower down one vertebra at a time. Bring the knees in toward the chest. Bring the arms out. And just roll back and forth here. Just working out the lower back one more time. Come to center. Once again, press through your elbows to bring your shoulders underneath, moving into final relaxation pose. So feel free to grab a blanket, put on some extra clothing like socks, or perhaps you want to add some support, maybe a bolster under your knees. Breathing. Inhaling and exhaling here. I'm going to move to a seated position so that my voice carries better. You won't be straining to hear me. You stay in Shavasana, your version of Shavasana. Smooth out the breathing. Let every exhale release a little bit more. Coming back to our intention, let's scan the body one more time. Just noting the openness in each area of the body that we may have increased, or sensation of easiness, sensation of not fighting against. Just feeling that healing energy and openness of the feet, the ankles, the shins, and the calves. Feel the warmth and the fluidity at the bottom of our leg. Moving that warmth and fluidity to our knees, the back of our knees, thighs and our hamstrings. Breathing in openness and airiness, lightness. Noticing our hips. Releasing any tightness. On each exhale, we're letting go a little more deeply. Let our pelvic cavity be as calm as a lake. Bring that warmth and spacious feeling up the front of our body into our rib cage, our sternum. clavicles, front of our shoulders, and just breathe in the space that we've created. Letting that openness and warmth fall to the back of the body, the lower back, the spine, the back of the shoulders. Be open. The breath move like water. Relaxing the arms, the elbows, the forearms, letting the wrists be open and relaxed, as well as the fingers. Just let them curl softly, and just let them integrate the practice, the openness, flexibility that we've given the body. Breathing into the throat, back of the throat, releasing the facial muscles, especially the jaw and the eyes. Let the eyes be smooth, calm, joyful. Letting that spaciousness then come to the back of our scalp and into our brains. Just releasing our brains and just letting them be in this moment, in this body, in this breath. Relaxing the whole body, from the head to the toes. If you would like to continue now with your Shavasana or perhaps a meditation, feel free to turn the volume or the recording off at this point. If you'd like to complete your practice, on your next breath, just inhale. Exhale, release the practice. Coming back into the present moment, the body, and the sensation of being here on the earth. Feel the airiness and the lightness of being. Take any part of the practice that served you today and leave any part that did not on your mat as we release our practice. We're just going to slowly bring our arms overhead, maybe halfway with elbows bent or maybe all the way. Just extend them on the earth. Extend the legs as well, coming into an east-west stretch. Lean to one side, exhale. Inhale, lean to the other side, exhale. Inhale, reach, open, accept, and then bring the knees into the chest, hug the knees. Giving ourselves a hug for bringing ourselves to this healing practice for us. And then we're just rolling over to one side in the fetal position and take a deep breath here. Once again, coming into the present moment, and then press with the top hand and lift yourself up to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Once again, opening our hands, I invite you to lift your arms shoulder height, palms open, and then let's just draw a circle of light around us as we let our fingertips meet at the top, and then exhale. Just being this light, not fighting so hard perhaps. Breathing a little, bringing the hands to the heart. Exhale. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice.